How's everyone doing? And welcome on in. I am the Gingerbeerdman here with your Dead by Daylight update. And we're mostly going to be talking about the Skull Merchant for the most part. There isn't too much else to really update rather than that. The Chaos Shuffle will be coming. The store just pretty much gets your free gift, 250k. There's no new cosmetics or anything like that. We've reverted back to the Tokyo Ghoul background since the Blood Moon is over. So, yeah, that is what we're back on. We're going to go to Survivor. I'll show you the shrine. And then we'll talk about the Skull Merchant. The design preview update of the Skull Merchant. Scourge Hook, Floods of Rage, and Overwhelming Presence. At the start of the trial, 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge Hooks. You see the auroras in white. When a survivor is unhooked from the Scourge Hook, all other survivors have the auroras revealed for 7 seconds. Overwhelming Presence. Survivor within your terror radius suffers from inefficiency. Affected survivors' item consumption rates are increased by 100%. I don't like either one of these. But if I had to pick, personally, I'd probably use the Floods of Rage if I had to pick between any of these. Now here, on the Survivor side of things, is interesting. Poised and Reinsurance. These are both really good perks. In their own builds, they're really good. When first starting repairs on a generator, reveal their killer aurora for 6 seconds. When a generator is completed, you leave no scratch marks for 14 seconds. And Reassurance, within a 6-meter radius around a hook survivor, use the activity or active button and pause their struggle progression for 30 seconds. If they are on the struggle phase, it also pauses the struggle skill checks as well. It only can be triggered once per survivor per hook instance. So both of these are good in their own builds as well. So if you have the points to get them, I would probably get both of these because they're good in their own builds. Let's talk about the Skull Merchant, because that's mostly why we're here. That is mostly the biggest thing to talk about this week. They haven't put out the roadmap, as I believe, still. Yeah? No? Awesome. Yep, still. Not a thing. So we're going to talk about the Skull Merchant, and we'll go from there, pretty much. I mean, so, there's a lot. This is what's changed. We've removed the Killer Aurora reveal when hacking a drone. The global detection power detects survivors who are running or walking, keeping this consistent with how drones detected players. Stealth drone scan lines are now visible, but will not extend entirely down to the ground, providing a visual indicator for survivors to crouch walk as a counteraction. So you can pretty much crouch now when it's scanning around circles. Yeah, you can now crouch and it won't detect you. Skull Merchant has 2 different types of drones. 5 deployable stealth drones, as previously mentioned. 1 drone buddy. Name pending, by the way. They're going to come up with their own name, I guess. That hovers directly over her shoulder. Note, this is not a separate AI-controlled entity. Stealth drones function as previously stated, but drone pulsing only injures, not downs survivors. Only survivor hit by drone pulsation is tagged and tracked with the claw trap. Claw traps can now be removed by survivors following held interactions. Skull Merchant gains the actable ability that fires an EMP dart from her drone buddy. Yes, they can hit you with a dart and follow you around. This ranged attack has a small AoE and down survivors tracked with a claw trap. EMP dart does not hurt survivors if they are not tracked with a claw trap. So you have to be, obviously, that's a claw trap on. They have these little pictures. Oh my god, I was like, what the heck are you? Who did this? This looks like I drew this. Little pencil man in there. I did it throughout the whole thing. Deploy and detect. Your first order of business is to make use of the tools in your arsenal to figure out where your survivors are. You begin by deploying a stealth drone and piloting it to a high traffic loop where you leave it passively scanning, switching focus back to the Skull Merchant. If you head toward another loop, activating your global detection power in hopes of catching a survivor heading to their first gen. Both the global detection power and your stealth drone detects separate survivors, notifying you the whereabouts on your radar. You now perfectly situated for the chase, as you can see in the picture. Track and tag. Switching focus back to idling stealth drone, you see a survivor who is detected running away. Making use of the stealth drone's increased movement speed, you give chase. Mid-chase, you see the opportunity to strike, launching your stealth drone forward with drone pulsation and hitting the survivor. Not only does this injure them, but it attaches a claw trap to them. This inflicts the broken status effect and tracks the survivor on your radar. With drone propulsion can't be used on a downed survivor, this opens them up to her own ability. Now, I understand this is a lot to take in. I've seen a lot of people also, I mean, this is Dead by Daylight, of course everybody complains, but I've seen a lot of complaining that it's a lot of pieces to put together for a killer. It's a lot of stuff to take in. It's a lot of different motions you have to do for the killer. And I said this before with other killers that they put out using like 4 different abilities. Yeah, sometimes it's a little too much to use too much in a Unity game. I definitely think that once it's used more often, people will get used to it. Hopefully, we can pray. But it is what it is. Use the EMP dart to down. At this point, the Skull Merchant could take matters into her own hands and hunt down the claw trap survivor by hand with an M1 attack. But where's the fun in that? Hovering over her shoulder at all times is her prized buddy drone, which hides a secret weapon. By charging up and releasing the activity button, when in control of the Skull Merchant, her buddy drone fires a short to mid-range EMP dart that hits with a small AoE. If a survivor is being tracked with a claw trap, the dart will activate this fearsome contraption, downing them. Good hunting. This will need work. I'm not going to lie. This one's going to need work because simply, what's the range on this thing? How long are you shooting? Is it the same range as, the Death Slinger? Like, how long is this dart flying here? Are we going side to side? Are we shooting across the map? Like, what are we doing here? I think that needs a little bit talked about, and we need to figure that one out really fast. A survivor's perspective. All that's well and good, but if you're a survivor, how are you supposed to deal with these high-tech tools? Stealth drone passively scanning an area, either crouch walk to avoid the scan lines or hack it to send the drone back to the Skull Merchant's personal stores. Hear the global detection power notification, same as above. Begin crouch walking or stop moving altogether to avoid having your location give away. Notice the stealth drone being piloted. Keep to tight loops and be ready to juke to prevent the stealth drone from attaching a claw trap to you. Afflicted with a claw trap and see the Skull Merchant approaching, be ready to juke her EMP dart. It has a short range charge time to use this time to put an obstruction between you both, so you obviously don't get hit with the dart. Afflicted with a claw trap and feeling hidden, hold the interaction button to remove it. With that, we'd love to hear all about the changes and whatnot, and that is it. The only issue I see out of all of this, I got no problem with darts flying, being stuck with crap and all that. I'm so used to it with Singularity, it's just another day at the office. My issue is how far the dart can go. That's what I got a problem with. Hopefully we can rein that in. I'm not a fan of that. I understand, like, is it like you shoot it, it hits the ground, and it like pops a big circle of EMP or something, and you fall down if you got attached? Like, is it that? Or do you have to hit him directly with it in the head or something? You know what I mean? Like, you got to actually hit him? Or is it an AoE? It says small AoE right there. Well, how small are we talking? Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, I think everybody would like to know how far the dart goes and how big is your AoE bubble we're talking about here. You say small AoE. Well, isn't the Singularity shots supposed to be, or the Unknowns shots supposed to be small AoEs? That thing looks like a medium to me, so I don't know what small means to Dead by Daylight devs, but if it's like that, oh boy, we got a problem. If it's like that, I could see a big problem here. That's gonna need reined in. It's gonna need some tweaks. It's gonna need nerfed. I got a feeling when this first comes out, it is not your end product. It's gonna take the time to beat it down some. I do see that coming. I really do. But that is it. That's all I have for you guys at this time, sadly. They didn't put out anything with the maps yet for next month. We haven't got that. The Chaos Shuffle should be starting anytime today. I thought it was already on here when I turned it on, but I guess it isn't. But they reverted everything back to the Tokyo Ghoul, and the Chaos Shuffle should be starting sometime here pretty quick. It's supposed to start like today. So next week, hopefully, we have the map. I want to see the road map, see when the new Survivor's coming out. That is mostly what I'm interested in. I want to see what kind of event are we going to do around this character. Are we going to do anything around this character? You got a week left for the tome as well. If you want to get that done. If you go back here, I'm going to show you something before we go. Chaos Shuffle is back. Surrender your builds to the whim of a chance of always remember this pledge. Perks do not maketh the player. To really make its return feel special, we're gifting daily login rewards including blood points, rift fragments, iridescent shards, and event currency. What event? Why do we need currency? There's nothing here. I'm confused on that. Maybe there's something coming that hasn't been said today or tomorrow. I don't know. Be on the watch out, because I don't know what that even means. Then the Fragment Frenzy has started from today, the 29th, until May 6th. You earn double amount of Fragment Frenzy. But like I said, you got a week left of the tome, and then it will be done. I'm probably going to guess around the new Survivor, they'll be putting out a new Rift. I would guess somewhere around in there. So you all have a good rest of your day. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Hit the bell to like. Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern, I go live with Dead by Daylight and use old Hillbilly Boy right there and knock some people down if you'd like to tune in. But you all take care, and I'll see you later. Have a good one.